Yeah, I do feel sad.
Yeah.
But it's a custom that we learn to ask for and forgive.
Yeah. Good morning guys, welcome back to another episode. This one is really exciting for me because we're actually quite close to my home. I haven't had to go 3-day, 4-day drive up into the wilderness to capture this episode. We are actually a short ferry ride, about a 45-minute ferry ride from Queensland's capital city, Brisbane. So we jumped on the ferry, we shot across, and we're at this island that is basically covered in forest, in bush. There used to be mines out here, but now it's mostly bush. I think it's 80% national park. And these national parks are jointly run by the Indigenous tribe on the island, as well as Queensland Parks and Wildlife. This island is known to most non-Indigenous people along the coast and who live out here as North Stradbroke Island. But to the Indigenous tribes, it's called, well, there's two names that I'm still trying to work out. One is Minjerribah. Minjerribah means place of mosquitoes or place of many mosquitoes, and that's because North Stradbroke and South Stradbroke used to be one big island, and now it's split due to a huge storm years and years ago. We might touch on that later. But the tribe from the now known Gold Coast area used to paddle across to South Stradbroke Island to camp, and they called it place of many mosquitoes, or place of mosquitoes, Minjerribah. Now there's also a name called, now I'm probably going to butcher this name, Chiranjgiri. Now that's another name for this island, and I'm yet to find out exactly what that means. But let's call it Minjerribah for now until I work that out. So we're over here, we've been invited here by a family, Mark and Nikki. Now they've invited me here, as well as a fella named Jaden, to go out and show me that this island is still very rich in culture. They still live a traditional way of life. They spend almost every day on the water, or in the mud flats, hunting mud crab and stingray and, flathead and turtle and dugong and all of that. So today they've asked me to come out on a men's hunt, which means it's men's business. Again, we'll touch on that later. I'll chat with Mark about that and find out exactly what that means. But basically, if you're going out to hunt for dugong or turtle, the women can't come because it is men's business. So we're going on a men's hunt. There'll be a couple of young fellas, which is going to be fun. Mark's going to share all his knowledge with us about the island, about the hunting out there, about his people, and should be a really good day. And of course, you guys are coming along for the ride. So let's pack up camp. We're going to head down here through this bush track here to the beach, shoot up the beach, and get over to Mark's place, get in the boat, and head out. Apparently they're called midgeon berries, something like that. And they're absolutely delicious. Alright, we are off the beach. Now this region here is the Quandamooka region. Quandamooka means the Moreton Bay region. So it's the bay, it's all the islands, it's the coastline itself, and I suppose the bay being the hunting ground back in the old days. That's Quandamooka, that region. There's all the tribes within that region, which I spoke about earlier. Stradbroke itself has three tribes, or Minjerribah has 3 tribes. Just spotting some bush tucker there. I will come back for that later. Oh, I'd love to show Jaden that. I'm pretty sure they're native gooseberries. I might jump out and get a photo of that in a sec, show Jaden. What was I saying? So yeah, so this island, traditionally being called Minjerribah or Turtles, but non-Indigenous Australians have for so long called this place Stradbroke Island, or North Stradbroke, or Straddy. Now, I wanted to tell you where that name comes from, because it seems crazy. So in 1802, the governor sailed up here from Sydney and came in through the Heads, and he was so impressed with the captain of the ship that he named Stradbroke Island after, I think it was the captain's father over in England, who was the Earl of Stradbroke, Stradbroke being a tiny little village over there in England. And he named Dunwich, the little town, or the main town here on the island, Dunwich came from, also from the same family who were the Viscount of a, I don't even know what Viscount is, I imagine it's like an Earl, of a little town called Dunwich over in England again, thousands of kilometres away. So this island, which has been inhabited by these indigenous tribes for 25,000 years, is being called Stradbroke because of a family in a little village over in England. Now, when I say 25,000 years, archaeologists get these dates, I'm pretty sure, by doing core samples. So around art sites around Australia, things like that, where they find old camps, they can drill a core sample down and take samples of organic matter. Now here, being that this is the second largest sand island in the world, I'm pretty sure Kagari is the largest. It's constantly migrating. The sand dunes are constantly migrating, they're moving. I mean, you can't sit here and watch it, but over thousands of years, you'll see that shift, because with the southeast trade winds, it's pushing that sand, it's blowing that sand, which is covering up old camps. So when the indigenous tribe would move camp, or you know, there'd be like a bora ground where they'd have their ceremonies and they wouldn't come there for a while, artifacts that would be dropped on the ground would get covered up by sand over time, and then eventually completely covered by sand. And then as these mining operations, which happened on the island here, there were 3 mines mining sand, and digging down, they're finding artifacts, and they'd be sent away and tested, and they'd be tested at the same level. Organic matter in that same level would be tested and would give them a pretty accurate time period of when that camp was there, or when that bora ground was used. And at the moment, at present day, 2023, they reckon it's about 25,000 years. So I'm really happy that I can see the name Minjerribah really coming in. A lot of the signs in town, and I know that it would be a difficult concept to change a name. You know, people know this place as North Straddy, but I think it's respectful to make that shift around Australia and start naming regions, start naming islands, rivers, things like that after their traditional name. Let's take a hold of this culture and you know, really respect it and learn as much as we can about it.
So from pretty much see the white sand here, it goes a long way.
That's it. Alright guys, we're out on a men's hunt today. Got all the boys here wheeling behind us here. Young Cyrus, Dale, Mark here at the back, and Jaden. So Mark, it's a men's hunt. It's men's business, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, we're not gonna, the boys aren't gonna jump on a dugong today. We're just here to see them, but we might go and get a turtle later. But
Later on the year we'll jump.
Yeah. Well, closer to winter when they've got more blubber and fat.
Yeah, you said they'll have that fat in them.
Okay.
Get that oil.
And why is it a men's hunt?
Over time, it's just been a custom of rule that's been handed down through generations.
There's men's business to do this. Okay.
And I know I see it even with other things. When you go to kill something, some female do get offended. I even have some male followers that get offended. Not offended, they get they feel sad for the animal. Yeah. And I just don't understand the cultural way of doing things. Yeah, I do feel sad. Yeah. But it's a custom that we learn to ask for and forgive.
Yeah, okay.
For giving up for food source and medicine.
But if you take the life of anything, you have to feel something, don't you?
Yeah,
respectful
yeah. And that's a respectful way of acknowledging that animal, that our ancestors have given that animal up for our people.
What do you reckon, mate? You going to jump on a turtle later?
Yeah.
Yeah? Excited? You going to jump too, Dale?
Yeah.
Very good.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a few there. Oh. So I always thought, like, how'd the old people do it in their dugouts? But when you just come up on them like that, like they're still sitting there now, they're pretty chill.
Nighttime.
Nighttime. And you just get in on them slowly and then harpoon them.
And then hang on.
Or jump on them and hang on. Shit, you wouldn't want to do that up north with his crocs, eh?
That's why they spear them, right? And give them a length of rope. And then hang on.
Yeah.
It'll tire them out.
Yeah.
They tire out.
Yeah, okay. Coming past Amity there, was that always like a base for one of the tribes?
Which,
Coming past Amity? Like would that have been a camp?
Morton and Amity were a lot closer.
Yeah, okay.
Just through current that just washed that water away. But they also, one of them, I guess, over time there's a massacre there at Amity. But it's not to actually stay there, it's like midgy, sandflies, mosquito ridden.
But yet it was always a camp for one of the tribes. Is that massacre that happened, is that recognised there? Is there a plaque, sign or anything?
No, the only thing recognised there is the plaque there that talks about how 8 or 11 survivors from a wreck.
So all that stuff's just sort of swept under the rug?
Yeah. And that's, I guess, what they're talking about now, about tell the truth.
Yeah. That's the best way forward, isn't it, for everyone?
Yeah, tell the truth what went on and then we can move forward.
Yeah. Ooh. Mark spotted a flathead. Is he in a stingray hole?
No, throw it, Dale. Yeah. Push it in hard. Push it in. Leave it go. Leave it go. Did you get
Got
it?
him. He got him. Good shot, Dale. So Mark's got a theory, you don't throw spears, you go straight over with the bow of the boat and really hard straight down on top of it. And then let go of the spear.
Did you get that other one?
No, you forgot.
Oh, he is a butcher.
So this is the perfect tide for this?
Yeah. The depth of water.
Nice. Your fish, mate. Good job. Good lunch. Yeah? Got him.
Who got it? Jumping. Reach there and grab his head. Make sure that you don't get hit by this spike on the right. Push him in. There to your left. There, Will. There. Look.
Oh! There's a one.
Any more in there, you fellas?
Jeez, you got the eye for it, Mark.
Oh, yeah. This colourment in the sand is probably the biggest thing I look for.
So when you say track, what do you mean by track?
Different colour in the sand.
Okay.
The sand's been disturbed.
Yeah.
And then you look for that shape. Jump in.
What's the plan, mate? Is Nicky back having a cook up, is she?
Yeah.
So tell us about this crocodile, Mark. Walk us through what happened.
So we had 9 people booked in for a tour. We went out to Morrow Springs, paddled out the creek, and then got out of the mouth of the creek where on the edge of the mangroves. And I pull up and do a talk about showing them where the cranes are at the Brisbane River, Brisbane and Amity Point.
Yeah.
And through my conversation, I sort of just went quiet and seeing what I was hoping was a log, but the resemblance of it wasn't looking like a log. Like 1,000 things going through my head. When was the last big rain and a log washing down maybe? But when that thing sunk, and then came back up, and even when it was out the first time, I seen the triangles of the tail. I usually paddle out when I see something like that, but when in my own mind, pretty worked out what it was pretty quick. I wasn't paddling out to have a look at it.
Yeah.
So then it came up another 2 more times, and we just with my customers, they confirmed as well there was a croc.
Yeah, they saw it.
Yeah, it was clear for them too.
Were they all panicking, or were they okay?
No, they're okay.
And then what? You've alerted who you need to alert, and nothing happened.
Yeah, well, I was waiting for a quicker response, but it seemed what I found out is that the agencies that manage crocodile management has to have a definite sighting and proof from their own staff before they move and do anything major to remove the danger. So
major, like a trap.
Yeah. Or even just to go and try and see it themselves, they need proof from their own staff of surety before they release any equipment or services in a big way.
That's crazy for somewhere like this.
It is, and I don't know what they're on about. I just can't work them out. So they've left it. They haven't even come out and said anything about community danger or awareness about crocs in Moreton Bay. So we're still at I'm at a bit of a loss in relation to how they manage our country, and it's just what they showed me was their incompetence on how our mob would do it instead of what they wait for to react and respond to stuff.
So the ranger program here on the island is joint managed by the tribe and also by non-Indigenous ranges.
Yeah, Queensland Parks and Wildlife is the joint management agreement.
Yeah.
The native title rep body in kayak, they're in joint management with that agency. The thing is, the agency controls all things that happen.
Yeah, okay.
And they might sell the concept that traditional owners are having input. That's about all there is, the input into management, but it's not the way I think some of them wish it would be managed.
And you said that you know, there was talk that you sort of made that up, what, for profit of business, but yet you haven't been able to run your tours since.
Oh yeah, the conversation, and I've run into a couple of people, but I've heard through other people as well that I did it to get my business out there, to market it and promote it. I thought that, and other people know how stupid that is. When you see something, recognise it, you know what it is, and it's putting your customers in danger. You don't put them back into that danger.
Yeah.
So I haven't been able to. I've purposely not done any kayaking since.
Yeah, and that's a big part of your operation, is the kayak tour.
Oh yeah. And just being out doing things like this, you know, you may come across it, you know, just by chance.
Yeah.
And I think that's the definite opportunity. If I do come by it by chance, I've sort of got stuff there to go.
Well, that's the thing. That's the reason that it was you that spotted it, because you're out here every day on the water.
Yeah.
Whether you're, you know, practicing culture with the hunting or you're doing the tours.
Yeah, we're on the water.
Yeah. What an epic morning. That was awesome. Got about 6 or 7 flathead. The boys stuck me up the back of the boat because they obviously watch the episodes and they see how good I am with a spear. So I was stuck up the back of the boat, but they nailed them. And it looks like Nikki's made us a big lunch. And we're going to have lunch on the boat and then head out chasing turtle. What do we got?
Rice.
Hey?
Turtle.
Rice? Is that rice?
Yeah, got turtle there. How'd you go?
You want to be in the show?
Yeah.
What's this, the turtle?
I think that's the dugong.
That's dugong.
Yeah.
Open it. No, it's turtle.
Well, you usually eat it in the boat anyway.
Is it turtle or dugong?
Curry turtle.
Oh, turtle.
Oh, look at that.
Turtle.
That's turtle, eh?
That's the dugong, the roast dugong.
I might have some,
And
yeah.
Lisa's got the turtle.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Are you usually eating it in the boat?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
We're worried about the tide. Do you want me to carry that? I can carry that.
Oh, you put it in.
Thank you.
I'll bring the fuel back.
Thanks for lunch.
What?
You're just going to walk really slow and eat it all? They're good? I've never had dugong either. I'm going to film this.
Get that.
Can I try some, Mark?
Hey,
Can I try some?
that's for you, Colin, yeah. We eat it all the time.
Where's that rice? That rice.
Oh, yeah. That's good, eh?
Chinese Chinaman, he eats a lot of rice.
What's in here?
Turtle curry.
Curry. What's in here?
Dugong.
Dugong. Dugong.
Chicken.
This looks weird. Oh my goodness. What is this colour?
Oh, that's the turtle curry, hey? So turtle curry, dugong, rice. Turtle time, hey? Get a turtle? I'll push you in. Bloody good out here, eh?
Yeah,
Is this your main diet, is turtle, dugong, fish?
pretty much we get into it a fair bit, eh?
Yeah.
And like it just tastes good. And cheap. Have you eaten it before?
No, I've never eaten dugong. It doesn't taste like it comes from the ocean or look like it.
That's a crappy bit too, it's tough. It tastes nice, but
What's the best part on the whole beast?
oh, you get the good roast and that, but that when it's nice, young and cut fine, that's like that belly pork. That's what that is. And you fry it.
Yeah, right. And you can do ribs and everything.
Yeah.
Bloody good. loose. He's coming up. You right? You had him, mate. For a second. Too slippery, that one.
Put the rope on. You got it now. On. I'm sorry, buddy. You yelled at us. It's making me heart sore. It's making me heart sore.
Making your heart sore. Come on.
That it's usually hangs on parts of it, and that's what you just look for when you pick it up.
This one's pretty good,
Can we get
Yeah.
another one? Bob, can we get another one?
They all want to let go, catch and let go. You're gonna dive.
You want to jump on one, do you?
It's really good enough at home.
Throw him at the front there. Just like that.
Yeah, so talk to us about that, Mark, because like I said to you, I get comments where people, ignorant people are saying, oh yeah, why don't they go do that in a dugout? But you just said then, we've come out, we've got one turtle and that's it.
Yeah,
You know,
like
whereas that's the idea. You can get out here because there are boats these days, but you just still take what you need and go home.
it's not commercial. Like government showed us the path of how they destroy things by commercialising dugong and turtle exploitation back in the 40s, 50s and 60s and destroyed our population here.
Yeah,
What we do is for food.
yeah, it's sustainable.
Have a feed.
Yeah.
As far as using the vessel, it's just for us a lot safer to use the vessel. Like, there's still danger with the motorboat, but the thing is we're entitled to use these type of this gear. If people think we're not allowed to evolve, they need to go back into their time capsule as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Heaps of them here. There he goes. Yeah, he's on him that time. Got him, mate.
Got him. He's beautiful.
Got that.
You gonna try and grab him, Cyrus?
Lucky, mate. I think you're going back.
Yeah.
That's a big bugger.
He's tagged too.
Tag. Yeah, he's tagged. Pick up.
Are you gonna jump on and swim him?
Yeah. If I grab him,
I'll jump on it and he'll take me.
Yeah, you're right. Come grab him.
No.
Oh,
I ain't doing it.
Swimming away.
Ain't doing it.
He is swimming away. Come on, Cyrus. Come jump on.
I lost it. He's gone.
Yeah, nice one, mate.
He did it.
That was good. What are you doing? Weren't you meant to watch that? Hey? Alright. We pulled up on this little island and the boys are about to butcher the turtle. Now, a few of you have probably seen this before in the episodes. I'm going to blur out all the gory bits. But if it's not something you want to see, tune out now because it is going to be, you know, it's confronting. But I want you all to have an open mind. What's going on in here, mate? A little muddy. I want you all to have an open mind and consider the fact that when you guys eat meat, if you eat meat, and you go to the shop and you buy your meat, that came from somewhere. That came from an animal. And but half the time you don't know where that animal came from or the life that it had. This turtle, we literally was just swimming around out there, free as a bird, having a good life, and now it's about to be butchered within 45 minutes, and it will go home to the family, and every single bit of that animal, not every single bit, the shell on that won't be, but all the meat on that animal, all the organs, everything is going to be eaten, and nothing's wasted, and this is a sustainable way to hunt. We'll have a bit of a chat with Mark about the sustainability of the way that they hunt. He already touched on that earlier, but it's something that I want to share with Australians because I really believe it. Once you're out here on country, sea country or on land, and you're with the mob and you're learning, or you're experiencing this, you really do learn. It's quite amazing. So hopefully all of you coming along for the ride are learning along the way and enjoying the show. But yeah, we're about to see something pretty wild, pretty confronting. And remember that this has been going on for thousands of years. For 25,000 years, the tribes here on Minjerribah Island have been hunting dugong and turtle. Yes, it might have been out of a dugout back in the old days, and now it's out of a powerboat, but this has been going on for thousands of years. Really cool. What do you got to say, Cyrus? You're a bit quiet, mate. What's going on?
I don't know.
This is fun, hey?
Yeah.
You're just running around on the seagrass?
Yep.
Yeah. Lots of little shellfish out here. We're going to go for a hunt with your mum tomorrow. Are you going to come?
Yeah.
Yeah? Take the spears and walk the flats?
Yeah.
Get a mud crab?
Yep. Skip school.
Skip school?
Yeah.
Cut that bit out. When was the first time you did this, Mark?
Oh, I watched my uncle when I was, 11 years old. Then after that we started doing it.
Yeah.
Every time we put a turtle back from down the fishing spot there, we just do what he taught us. Yeah, so I've been doing it for about 40 odd years.
And I suppose it's a gradual process for learning, like these young fellas here today jumping on them and just watching you do it, and then over the years they'll grab a knife and...
Yeah, they get to bury.
Yeah.
Cyrus, Dale here. You know what you gotta do? What? Hurry up. Bury that head.
Can you explain that to us, Mark? The boys burying the head?
I just get them used to dead animals, you know,
Yeah.
just and blood, and then just out of respect to bury a component of the animal, which is its head.
And you face it, well, you're on an island here, but you face it towards the water?
When we're cutting up, we do.
Wait.
Oh, when you're cutting it up, you do?
Yeah.
Is that?
So the spirit goes out into that waterway.
What? I forgot what they call, but I think there's a sea urchin?
Maybe? No, I don't think so, mate.
Oh, it looks like one.
It does, doesn't it?
Are we gonna...
Just a couple of protective signs on that.
Yeah.
You just don't want to cut down in there because there's a bag. I'll show you the bag.
Yeah.
But I burned it down.
Lift it up. Nearly. There, that's it. That's it. Keep going, Cyrus. And again.
Oh.
So before we take off, Mark, I've got a stupid question that will, that I imagine a lot of non-Indigenous Australians watching this show would think, probably the first thing that comes to their mind is, why kill a turtle and why not just go to the shop and buy meat? Like, I get comments like that, why not leave the poor turtle alone? Why don't you go and buy
Healthier
meat?
choice.
Healthier choice, yeah. It really is, hey?
It is.
And
It is.
more
And it's
ethical.
proven. It's actually proven in the health arena. They say for Aboriginal people to go eat that turtle, their traditional foods, kangaroo, because it's healthier for them. And I've been and seen like other people, specialists in that, and they're saying if you look at your genes and where you come from, that's the food you need to be eating, and you won't be as sick and ill as what we are today.
Yeah.
So we've got to avoid.
Because that is in your genes, because it's been there for so long on that particular country.
Yeah.
And then obviously, like we said earlier, it's not the kill isn't done lightheartedly, is it?
Oh no, it's so preparation is for me is about asking the old people to give an animal for us to take, and then even before we start cutting, we give a blessing and thank you to the old people, but also to that animal.
Yeah.
It's a sad moment. That's it. But we pay that respect and homage to that animal for giving up its life for food, and healthy food at that. In comparison to going down to Woolies to buy a rump steak or something, this bay is our Woolies.
Yeah, that's it.
And we just know how to shop in it.
Yeah. And these animals live a free life, a free and happy life until the last second, as opposed to what's at Woolies.
Our challenge is to ensure the animals maintain a safe and not toxic meat. That's our challenge. Any other industry that would have the amount of toxins that come into our waterways, those industries would be shut down because it'd be affecting their food source.
That's true, yeah.
And then what happens here is it affects our culture, and people aren't considering that. And that's a bit of a kick in the guts for our people. And all Indigenous people that around the place that are impacted by toxins in the waterways or on their lands that impact their food source.
And more so down here in the southern cities.
Not really. It's because you also got all those big cane farms all up the east coast running off into the Great Barrier Reef and around those places.
Yeah.
So there's an issue there.
Yeah. Well, it's been amazing to I was just saying to Jaden before that the city's right there, and for me being so close to home and seeing your culture is still so rich here, and be out hunting with you guys is just. It's amazing.
And that's the thing, yes, we're right there. The city's 30 minutes away.
Yeah. But these traditional practices are still happening.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And this younger generation is going to be doing the same thing?
Yeah, pass it on to my grandkids.
Yeah, very cool. Well, thanks for taking us out, mate.
No worries, mate.
Legend. I thought we were going down there.
I'm Cyrus. Yeah, we're going to. I think we're going to Bubbly.
Yeah, we're going back trackway.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Mom. that's Maya, and I'm Cyrus. That's Dale, and then that's Nathan.
That guy's already there.
Yeah, see there? That's down there.
You just turn here.
What did you do today
It's very
in the
low.
morning, Nathan?
Flew the drone.
Yeah.
It's off, Cyrus.
Oh, no, you just have to taxi.
Are you interviewing me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
So,
Right.
Wait, you can drive with your knives?
yeah.
My dad can drive with his knees.
Yeah. Okay, we're hopping out.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh my god, it's so big. Oh, it's so high.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Maya, shut that door.
So, we're going to jump up the thing, and then after this, I'm going to hand it over to Cyrus.
See that?
Okay. So, let's do this. Give me a count. Give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1, 2, 9,
Get it. Ready? Do it again. 3.
4, 5, 9, 10,
Good morning, guys. We got to wrap up this episode. I'm sorry I didn't do it last night. I was buggered. I didn't get back here till dark, and Nikki had filleted those flathead, and she gave me a container of that. So thank you, Nikki, for doing that. And I've just woken up, had a swim here in this beautiful lagoon, and yeah, we got to wrap up yesterday. So yesterday was absolutely extraordinary to be over here so close to Brisbane, the capital city, and actually all day while we're out there hunting. In the boat, I could see boats off in the distance and jet skis zooming around, which is so different for me. As you guys know, I'm normally just in the middle of nowhere, and there's no one but me and the family I'm with. And you know, and I could see Brisbane over in the distance. I could see the port of Brisbane and the boys. You know, if you blocked all that out, you could be anywhere in northern Australia. You know what the boys were doing, jumping off the boat on a turtle, and we're seeing so many turtles and so many dugong. It was just amazing. It was amazing. I'm still trying to process all this in my head because I've never experienced anything like this before. So close to home, so close to a capital city. So I'm sure that there's tribes all around Australia that are living, you know, close to civilization who are still practicing their culture, and that's been the most special thing. So to be over here and meet Mark and Nikki and the whole family and see them still practicing their culture, still so in touch with their culture, and still hunting for their food is really cool. Sorry, I got fish biting my feet. So yeah, I had an amazing day. It's been a real eye-opener. And the coolest thing about all this is that this camp where I am right now, you guys have seen it in the drone footage, is just amazing. We've got this big lagoon here, and then it's a short 3-minute walk through the dunes down onto this beautiful beach on the east coast. You guys can camp here. You guys can come across on the ferry, and if you look up Stradbroke Adventures on Instagram, you'll get in touch with Nikki and Mark, and they run tours. They run tours like 4-wheel drive tag-along tours where you go around the whole island, not the whole island, but a lot of the island, seeing the significant sites, the lakes, the beach. You probably get some yugari off the beach and pippies and cook them up, and you'll do that with Mark, so you'll get all of his traditional knowledge. Or you can do the kayak tours where you kayak up the west coast and see all the mangrove system, and he'll give you a spear and you can spear a flathead and see Myora Springs and all those significant sites. He might even be able to take you out to show you the dugong and the turtle. I think that's part of one of the packages. Sandboarding, all sorts of stuff. Actually, there's been a crocodile sighted, so I think the kayaks are out for the moment, but everything else is available. You can camp here. So look up Stradbroke Adventures and come over here and experience this for yourself. I can't do this very often because I'm so remote, and that option isn't there. And this is an option for you guys, which is really cool. So if you want an experience, if you want to meet some amazing people and learn about the history of this country and this island, look up Stradbroke Adventures. That's a wrap for this episode. I hope you all learned something. I'm coming back here. We're gonna go. we're gonna go and chase a dugong in winter. But this isn't at the end. So next episode, which is today, I'm catching up with Nikki and young Cyrus and probably Jaden, and we're going to go and walk the flats, look for some lunch, mud crab, something like that, look at the springs, Jaden's got some bunya nut from the mainland, so we're going to cook something with the bunya nut. He loves his bush tucker, so we'll learn a whole lot about that too. Like yesterday afternoon coming in, he showed me all sorts of guavas and all sorts of, not natives, but Brazilian cherries that were just delicious. So he really knows his stuff, so we'll cook up something really yummy. So that's next episode. But from here, make sure you hit the like button if you liked the episode. Give us a thumbs up. Merch, wildreaches.com. We've got hats there now. We've got stubby coolers, those cool stubby coolers that lock your can in, and like the Yeti ones. What else? We've got heaps of new shirt designs, singlets, things like that. So wildreaches.com for merch. And if you want to be a part of our Patreon community, patreon.com/wildreaches. And we do, I'm doing way more updates on there now, so more than Instagram. So the whole tribe there gets to see what's happening daily. And the Zoom calls once a month, and then lots of big giveaways, fishing gear, camping gear, all that kind of stuff. So if you want to be a part of that, that's patreon.com/wildreaches. But thank you for watching. Just watching and commenting is support enough, if that's all you can do. I appreciate all of you. I'm loving what I'm doing, and I'm hoping you're all learning as much as I am along the way. See you next week.
Say hi. Okay. Say hi. Say hi. Never say hi.
At Mossman at Centre.
I did a front flip.
Let's go.